well, you're very welcome to Out and About in the UK. We're here in Hallbrooks in Coventry at the St Finbarr Sports and Social Club for the Irish Faith Day hosted by St Finbarr's and Irish in Britain. The focus of the day is to promote healthy living and health awareness within the Irish community. Mary, we're here at St Finbarr Sports and Social Club here in Coventry. Can you tell me a little bit more about the event here today?
Today is a sports event which we're holding in Coventry, but we hope we'll be able to do something similar in other parts of the UK in due course. The reason we're here is because the Irish have got a very strong history in sport, and St Finbarr's has got tremendous sporting facilities. And what we want to do is we want to capture the expertise and the experience of sport and use it to try and improve the health of the Irish in Britain. Now, many of us have been very successful and many of us have done very well in Britain, but our record on health is not very good. Irish in Britain still have some of the highest levels of cancer in the UK. We've got very high levels of heart disease, hypertension and stroke. We've also got a high level of limiting long-term illness, and also quite a few people suffer from depression, common mental disorders like depression. Now, many of these things are preventable, and the sad thing is that these are still transmitted into the second and third generation in Britain. They do get better, but there's still a high level of all those illnesses in the third generation. And because they're preventable, we want to be doing something about it. We've also got a very old community. The age profile of our community is much older than the UK community and any other ethnic minority. So because of that, we've got a high risk of dementia, and the high levels of heart disease and stroke also increase the risk of dementia. So because many of these things are preventable, we want to do something about it. Now, today we're looking at men in particular, because a lot of men aged 40 and over are required to leave work because of limiting long-term illness. So if we can actually get them into sport, get them doing some exercise, getting them leading healthier lives, we hope to be able to reduce the incidence of dementia in the community. And it's a fun way to do things. The other thing that happens is when people become old and they become frail, they're not able to get out very much, so they become socially isolated, increasing the risk of depression and dementia. So it's about putting all those things together and using sport as a fun way of making people healthier and preventing illness.
Rose, can you tell us about the link between BME and the Irish in Britain organisation?
Well, it started with me meeting the chair, Mary Tilkey. We were on the same steering group together, looking at a genetic condition that was actually needed to be checked for black and minority ethnic groups. And because the Irish were included in that, we met at the steering group. And then Mary knew that I was doing cancer, so she asked me to help with the Irish community to raise awareness. So that's why I'm here today.
And you've recently had a big report in terms of the black community with prostate cancer. What are the figures like in terms of prostate cancer with the black community?
Well, black men are twice as likely, about 2.5 times more likely to be diagnosed, but they're twice as likely to die as well. And in the city that I come from, in Nottingham, they're 3 times more likely to die. So I've written a report, we've done a national campaign on it, and actually it's beginning to change things now. But whilst I was doing that, I actually noticed how the rates of prostate cancer had gone up in the Irish community as well. So we did something at the Irish Centre, the Shamrock Club in Nottingham. Mary came up with Charlotte Curran, who's actually the outreach worker, and we actually started a support group there. So I'm going to go in and help Anne McCleary, who is actually doing it, to develop that group, so that people can get some support as well, because often they don't know the signs and symptoms or what to do when they get it.
So Danny, can you give us an idea of the link between St Finbarr's here in Coventry and Irish in Britain?
St Finbarr's is a Gaelic athletics club. It's been in existence now for 62 years. Our membership is ever increasingly getting older, so Irish in Britain approached us and asked us if we'd put on a health day for them so we could reach out to our members. Also, we could help us re-engage with some of our members that have not moved up from our old club into our new premises.
And it's a very impressive premises. How long are you guys here?
We've been here 18 months. We've spent nearly £2 million on the redevelopment. You know, for a voluntary organisation, it was a massive undertaking. You know, and I think we've seen the benefits from the Irish community within Coventry and also the wider Irish community within Coventry.
And how buoyant and how vibrant is the Irish scene here in Coventry?
Yeah, Coventry's got a proud heritage of the Irish community. I'm second generation myself. My dad stems from Dundalk in County Louth, so it's got a massive Irish culture, not only just Gaelic games, but in Irish dancing and various Irish groups.
So Frank, we're here in Coventry with the Irish in Britain. Can you tell us a little bit more about the link between the TLICN?
We've been supporting Caomhna since they started off, and we're very happy to be involved with them. There's a big connection with what they do, and a lot of the construction workers, or the older construction workers in London. So they're doing a fantastic job up and down the country, and we're very, very pleased to work with them and support them where we can.
And from an organisation working with the construction workers, how important is it for workers to be aware of their own health and the benefits of exercise and things like that?
I think it's very important, and I think these people are doing a great job to make people aware. I recently went into a pub in North London, and among the reading materials I picked up their Irish in Britain brochure, which was amazing. Like, I've been in London 40 odd years, and in that time I've never seen sort of literature like that around. So they're making people aware, and that's fantastic.
Mm-hmm. And the construction scene in London now, it's very, very vibrant, very busy, isn't it?
Booming. It's booming, yeah, and it has been for the last. We went through a tough time, but it has been for the last couple of years. It's on the up, and things are good.
There's a lot of Irish people involved.
There is a lot of Irish people involved, yes. A lot of Irish people have moved over the last couple of years. So as things got tougher in Ireland, they sort of, it's an easy commute, so people have been doing that.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. And first of all, welcome to the St Finbarr's Club here in Coventry. And I think it's my first time being here, and I kind of regard myself as having fairly in-depth knowledge of the Irish in Britain, but I didn't know how wonderful this club is. So first things first, a Buddha boss to the St Finbarr's Club for their lovely club.
Unaccustomed as I am to speaking, I'll give it a go. Anne Lucas spoke about funding in the city, and I'm from Voluntary Action Coventry, and we've been managing a small pot of money called the Innovation and Development Fund, which is to focus on health priorities across the city from the Coventry and Rugby Clinical Commissioning Group and from the Public Health Team, who we have members here today. And your project is one of the projects that came forwards to look at the needs of physical health and dementia, that is mental well-being and health, within the Irish communities of Coventry. So today is funded by Innovation Development Fund, but it's also here as a beginning rather than a product to start working with all of you to ensure the health and well-being of the city of Coventry. Thank you. And I'm so happy to be here, and I'm so happy to see so many people, and I'm really looking forward to the football, and I'm really pleased at the result last night. So lovely to see you all. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. Can you hear me properly? Yeah. I'm really delighted to be here today. I'd like to thank St Finbarr's and Irish in Britain for inviting the embassy to be represented here today. I know the ambassador himself would have loved to have been with you today. He's a huge supporter of Irish in Britain, a major supporter of the GAA, and a big supporter of the Caomhna campaign. He's otherwise occupied. Unfortunately, we have our Minister for Foreign Affairs and Trade in Oxford today, so the ambassador is with him there. But he just asked me to pass on his best wishes to you all for a really successful project and a really enjoyable day. I'd just like to congratulate Irish in Britain for this really fantastic initiative. I think the Caomhna campaign it's a really important and a really timely response to the huge need within our community to face the challenge of memory loss. As has been mentioned a number of times, we are an ageing community, and I think this is a really good example of Irish in Britain looking at the changing needs of our community. And I think the Cribner Cup and your collaboration with the GAA is a really important example of how you're trying to implement the Cribner strategy, and I think you deserve great credit for that. The Irish Government is strongly committed to supporting the Irish community in Britain. One way in which we do that is through the Emigrant Support Programme, which provides funding to Irish community and cultural organisations throughout the country.
Coventry has always been a welcoming city, and especially just before and after the Second World War, when we were in desperate need of help and support to rebuild our city, people like my father-in-law came over from Dublin to help rebuild this wonderful city, and are very much part of our heritage and culture. And what you brought were your skills, and what you brought was your love of life and enjoyment and your Gaelic heritage, and long may it last. And St Finbarrs, I have to tell you, is doing a wonderful job.
Welcome to Coventry. We're the heart of England. Holbrooks is the heart of Coventry, and we have with us here today those that represent Coventry. Councillor Lancaster, her mother, Margaret, I don't know where she's gone now, the heart of my constituency. We can do no more than welcome you with all our hearts, and hope that the activities here will continue to expand. We've all heard that Anne is the toughest leader to meet too, said we haven't got any money, but there are always little things we can do for worthwhile causes that are carefully thought out and presented within the context of all the cuts that we have to face. So welcome again, and if ever the London delegation, that's Mary and Charlotte and the others, I'm sure I've forgotten some people here, I've got a list, I'm sure I've got a list somewhere, do want to find another place less expensive than London, more welcoming than London, where we're well established, we have room, come and join us here in Coventry. Relocation is all the thing, so once again, thank you all very much, I'd love to see you here. Thank you.
Well, we're going to take a break right now, but do come back to us with more from St Finbarrs.